Hello there. I'm John, and today we're going to be saying hello to a promising new artist that we've discovered called Gourav Dutta, who's going to be helping us paint a lovely watercolour scene with glorious blossom. But before embarking on our flight to India, I'd just like to thank our most recent patrons for signing up and joining our arty community. So let's say thanks to Susan Hand, Claire, British Bass Slammer, interesting name there. I don't think that's your real name, is it? And Peggy Fitzgerald and Trish Gathers. Thank you so much, and I know that you're going to be enjoying all our upcoming live events in the coming months. So we've got some great ones. So one all about brushes next month, so don't miss that one. Right. So this live art tutorial is a shorter prelude to Gourav's 2 to 3 hour workshop webinar in a few weeks' time, and gives you a good taster of some of the things he'll be teaching in greater depth at the full event. And for those joining us live, you also get the opportunity of receiving a special 15% discount off that longer workshop. More about that later. If this is your first time joining us, although you can just watch, these shorter classes are designed for you to speed paint along with. It's fast and furious, but it really complements our longer, more in-depth workshop where you can work through the techniques step by step and at a more appropriate pace. So without further ado, let's now zoom to Gourav. As we journey to India, if you do want to give this speed painting session a go, the recommended art materials and reference pictures can be found on our website video catalogue. Simply click the class info button when you're there. You can find a direct link to our video library in the description below. I can see Gourav now. Yes, he's just outside, but he's running inside. Come on, Gourav, get inside. He's inside now in his studio. Hello, Gourav.
Hello, John.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
How
Well,
are you?
it's lovely to welcome you to our channel, and I know you're super excited. And we had to invite you on because we think you're a great up and coming artist, and you've been doing some great
Thank
stuff
you
with your
so
art.
much.
So, and I know you've watched a lot of our shows as well, and you were saying to me it felt a bit surreal being on the other end of the camera. So, it's welcome today. And I couldn't help notice that as we flew in, there were a number of beautiful lakes in your area. It must be very attractive and peaceful. Does it inspire you with your art?
It does, to some extent, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I also understand that you've been painting since you were 2 years old. Is that right?
Absolutely right.
Wow. Well, I'm really looking forward to the class today. But before we crack on with it and get on, just a quick 30-second word on how today's live event is going to work. So first of all, we're going to walk through the preparation, and this will include talking about the sketch, which Gourav's already sketched out just to save on time, some theory and applying the first layers of paint. Then, while that dries, we're going to take the opportunity to see some examples of Gourav's previous works of art for a bit of inspiration, one of my favourite bits of the show. And then we'll also discuss his upcoming 2 to 3 hour workshop webinar at the beginning of next month. I'll also explain how you can obtain that special discount to join that as well. Finally, we'll complete the tutorial, after which, whether you attend the live event or are watching a recording of it, you can share what you've done on our Facebook or Instagram page for comments and feedback. So without further ado, let's get back to Gourav and we will make a start. So Gourav, today we're doing a lovely scene. It's a wall with a couple of chairs and a lovely blossoming tree. Hopefully people have got the reference photo in front of them. Did you take that photo?
Oh, I did not, apparently.
Ah, where did you get it from? Was it?
Oh, I got it from a friend.
Ah, perfect. Well, it was a lovely scene. It was really nice and very attractive. And why did you pick that one as something to do today?
Well, as you may know, our class time is very short today. So and my disadvantage is that I'm not a realist painter. I'm sorry, I'm a realist painter. And speed painting is not my piece of pie. So I will be very, very sure that whatever I do looks good, and this is a very simple composition. So that's why I chose this.
Okay, perfect. And we've had a message from Anadi who says, "We are in for a treat. This is my second tutorial with Gourav. Thanks, John." So there we go. So we've got Hanadi on the channel, which is great. Andrew
Thank you
said,
for joining, Hanadi.
yeah, and Andrew says hi, John, and hi, Gourav as well. Hello, Andrew. And good morning from Sandra in Minnesota, near the Canadian border, which has got a lot of snow. So hopefully you're wrapped up nice and warm, Sandra. So Gourav, I can see in front of you and on your board you've got your sketch that you've already kind of
Yeah,
sketched out using the photo, and how maybe you can just talk through what items in as you were sketching it out, what were important elements
right.
to include.
So in the reference image, we can see that the road and the wall were in an angled way. So whatever I did is that I straightened it out. I minimized the size of the chairs and the tables so that the window and the flowering portion is more in focus.
Okay, that makes sense. And what do you feel? What is going to be the focus of this painting? Is it the window?
Yeah, the window, its designs, and a little bit of this flowering portion.
Okay, okay, great. And so hopefully people have prepared a sketch, and if not, you can work through that. Obviously, the benefit of this is it will be a recording later on, so you can always come back to it. But obviously, for sake of time and the fact that this isn't a full workshop, let's crack on now. Maybe you can talk about what you're going to be using as the first layers.
So first things first, I will just put plain water and also make sure that you give a little bit of white spots which are not wet, and those will serve as the windows from where the sunlight will be entering and getting reflected on the walls. So
What paper have you decided to use on this?
I'm using 300 GSM 100% cotton paper.
Okay, is it quite textured?
It's cold pressed.
Cold press. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So let's begin. Just wet down the whole sheet. And when you are waiting the flowering portion, just make sure a little bit of white space is there, which is not wet. So it's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the wall, the shadowy portion. I'll mix a little bit of neutral tint. This color is specially produced by Daniel Smith.
So you're just dropping that color in there, almost creating mottled shade. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It just has to be organic because the sunlight's reflection is totally organic thing. You cannot force it. You just have to let the water do the work. And I'm extremely sorry for the background noises. In India, it's very, very noisy most of the time, and it's evening time, so people are quite busy.
They're not afraid of pressing the horn in India, that is for sure.
Never. In some places, though, it is, but here, wherever I live in West Bengal, it's not like that. People love to press on.
Yes.
So just giving a light shades.
So Sandra says, what does organic mean here? So It's not
Organic,
prescriptive lines, it's being fluid.
yeah, just letting the water do the thing. And also I had a little bit of wet portions, which I also didn't know. As I'm applying the paint, I'm getting to know that there were something dry portion there. We will be getting back to this portion after this layer dries up.
Yes, this first layer is really just the like anything, the foundation, the first
Exactly.
step.
And
But it's
here the
interesting.
shadows end, so a little bit more careful.
Yes, I was going to say it's interesting because a lot of artists in that first layer might just go over the whole thing and let the colours all blend, but you're being a little bit more precise, even with
Yeah,
the
I
first
like
layer.
precision and realism. Loose is not my piece of pie, but I do like loose works. That's why sometimes I do this plein air studies. Those things teach us a lot.
Yes.
So I will take the opportunity and I will do this first layer here on the tree, the Bougainvillea blossom. I'll put a little bit of yellow and a little bit of pyrrole scarlet
Oh, that's better. Yeah, we can see you mixing.
and quinacridone rose. Just for the first layer. Just dabble your brush. We are not going to get into details now.
Do you find being in a warm climate that you're always continually having to wet your paper because it must dry out quite quickly?
Actually, the paper containing a higher percentage of cotton takes some time to dry up.
Okay, okay. Well, that's good.
So you have to choose your paper according to your requirements. Just maybe get a little bit more darker in some areas. Now you can see, I think there's irregular shapes over here that are purely white, and they will signify that those small holes we see on trees, which allows the sunlight to pass through them, and they will be making these reflections in the world, dappled light. So after this full thing, the first layer totally dries up, we will go for the window because it's the subject and it will be a little bit more detailed.
So is now a good time, once you've finished doing the blossom here, to just take that break to leave it to dry? Or is there
Yeah,
anything else that you'd like to just do prior to that drying time?
I will just go for the road and finish it up over
Okay.
there. And this paint is just plain quinacridone rose. And it's a loose painting. Even though loose is not my piece of pie, but I am doing this loose because of the time constraints.
It's forcing you
Hyperrealism
to
and
adapt,
realism take a
forcing
lot
you
of
to
time.
adapt as well, Gaurav.
No, loose is beautiful, uh, but everyone has their own choices.
Sure.
And my paper here will take a little bit of time to dry up because it has 100% cotton, and I am experienced with this thing in the past. And it is quite beneficial when you are painting a loose painting.
Yes.
I'm trying to make the blooms as vibrant as possible.
And I guess it's important to do this while the paper is wet because you then get the
Exactly.
spread of the paint as you dab it on.
See, the spreading will not be there in the when the paper is wet,
No.
dry.
Oh, Gaurav, you've just gone mute. You've just gone mute for some reason. I don't know why. No, it's still mute.
Now I'm
Yes, now
audible,
you're
I think.
back. Now you're back.
So our focus of this painting will be this portion. We will not go beyond that a little bit more or in the ground portion, not too much. All the contrast and the saturation will be here. So I'm using this paper towel to just rub off the excess water.
It looks quite a therapeutic process, that dabbing the
Yeah,
blossom on. Quite a relaxing.
it's very easy as well as relaxing. That's a thing that I like about the loose paintings.
Yeah.
Now I'll let it just dry for some time and I'll go for the street portion.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a little bit of burnt gold, the portion of the sienna family, burnt sienna. So this paint I'm be putting on the road. But very, very light it has to be.
Sandra said, "I love it already." That's good, Sandra.
And also we will put a little bit of quinacridine rose on the street to signify the fallen leaves.
Ah, yes. The
But the
things that go
detailing
a
we will
bit,
do later on,
the things that go a
or
bit
we may
mouldy
not
and
do the
brown.
detailing here.
Karen says those leaves are just for you, John. Yes, thanks, Karen. I don't like all the leaves on the floor. It just gets in the way. And another pet hate of mine is glitter. I really don't like glitter. It gets everywhere.
So I will just wait for it to dry.
Perfect. Well, let's take our little break now then, while we're waiting for that to dry. And so, what are you thinking? It's really shaping up well, isn't it? Really great. And now let's take a look at some of Gourav's previous works of art for some inspiration. He's pulled out a few, all watercolor, because he paints in a few other mixed media as well. But let's have a look. What have you got to show us, Gourav?
Yeah, so first I'm going to show some loose works, since this is a loose painting.
There you go.
Well, here is a plein air painting that I did,
That's lovely.
a
Yes,
pond full of lilies.
lovely lily pond. Yeah, and that's quite close to you, I understand, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It could almost be Monet.
So after this, so there is this mountain scene. It's also plein air.
Yes, that's nice. Yeah,
Thank you.
I like how you got the foreground in focus as well there, and you've got some detail, and then it blends into the background.
Yeah. So there's another plein air.
Lovely.
All these are natural scenes. I like to paint mostly natural scenes in my plein airs.
How long would it
So
normally
there's a
take
little,
you to do those plein airs? How long would it normally take you?
well, 2 to 3 hours.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And this is a tiny painting of a fish, hyper realistic.
Wow.
It's watercolor also.
That's amazing. Amazingly detailed.
Thank you. Another fish, it's a goldfish from my goldfish pond.
That's lovely. Yeah, you've caught the light
Thank you.
really well on the scales there.
Yeah, but it's watercolor, don't get misguided.
No, that's great.
Okay, so there is my one of my original paintings. It's called The Golden Warrior.
I'm just going to switch cameras just for 1 second, just because it's gone a little bit granulated. So let me just
Oh,
pixelate it.
sure.
Ah, there we go. We can see a little bit more of the detail. Wow, how long
It's
how
called
long
The
did that
Golden Warrior.
take you? That's a lot of detail in that.
Yeah, yeah. It took me quite some time.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
It's
Oh, Hanadi
based
said
on.
let him show you his carved pencils. What's that?
Oh my God, I'm not prepared.
What are your carved pencils? Just to maybe explain.
Well,
We can show them in
I'm
the
a.
workshop. We'll show them in the workshop. What
Yeah,
are
yeah.
they? What are they?
I'm also a micro sculptor along with watercolor artist.
Oh,
So I
okay.
carve sculptures on the top of the pencil, on the graphite of the pencil.
Oh, right. Okay. And you actually make little micro sculptures on the top.
Yeah,
That's
but I don't
fantastic.
use any magnification.
Wow. That's
My
incredible.
eyes are good enough.
Well, yeah, mine definitely aren't, especially over this lockdown period. They've really deteriorated. I don't think if you lived in my house, I'd probably use the pencil by mistake. You go, no, that's my sculpture. That's my sculpture. um, right, brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing those with us.
My pleasure.
That was really lovely. And which ones did you like the best? Let me know in the chat what resonated with you, which really stood out, and why. Really fantastic. A very promising artist in the years ahead for sure. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're loving the art on display today, we both really appreciate you hitting the thumbs up. YouTube then recommends this show with more thumbs up, likes, to more people, helping us with our mission to inspire them to give art a try, young and old alike. So thanks in advance. Now let's go back to Gourav and we'll discuss what we're actually going to be covering at the beginning of February. So our longer 2 to 3 hour workshops provide a different experience with more time to properly explore the techniques taught. Gourav will probably be a little bit more relaxed as well, not having to speed paint a lot, and you'll be able to complete a full painting from start to finish. And during our workshops you can speak directly to the artist as well as receive feedback on your art throughout the show. You then get feedback after the show once you're ready to share your completed painting. So it's a full package. So Gourav, tell us a little bit more about what you've chosen to do at the longer workshop.
Well, in the longer workshop, we are going to do one of my original paintings. It's called Let It Go.
Okay.
And there, little monk is going to be floating on water with a small boat kind of thing. And he will be letting go a bird, releasing a bird into nature.
Quite symbolic. Quite symbolic.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there's quite a few techniques involved in that.
Yeah, surely.
Yes. So you've got a little bit of loose work with the background, but then the focus
Exactly.
on the man and the bird and the and I think if people go and have a look at the painting that's on our website, we'll have a look at that in a minute. You've got the transparency of the robe that the monk is wearing, so you've got the light coming through that. So there's a number of different elements which are really really interesting, and it frames really well as well. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. Just on the paintings that you shared, we had a few comments. So Christelle said, wow, these paintings are amazing, thank you for sharing. Karen said they are absolutely fabulous. I love the plein air paintings. Andrew said that Golden Warrior painting was amazing. And Victoria said, I love the goldfish and the Golden Warrior. Such detail, very impressive. And Louise said the last one with the warrior and the eagle, very unusual and vivid. And Eva said, what stunning paintings. They are all beautiful. The eagle is magnificent. I can feel its strength. Yes, you're totally right there, Eva. It was, you could really feel the strength of the eagle. Because Gourav is one of our up-and-coming talents, it's also at a really special price as well. So hopefully you can all join us for that. It's going to be a great thing, and it only costs a little bit more for to join the live webinar plus the video, so you've got nothing to lose. And if you want to join us, it's taking place Tuesday the 1st of February, and it's going to be at 3:30 in the afternoon UK time. And to book your place, you can either click the YouTube pop-out link, which will appear just here, or you can visit our website shopkeeparty.com. I'll also share my screen now and show you how you can book. So you just visit shopkeeparty.com, and then you click on the live events section at the top, and as you scroll down you can see that painting with the monk and the bird being released just there. And you can see also it's £10. It's from £10, so it's a really good price. If you scroll down, you'll see the reference painting that we've got down there. There we go, and the scene, which is really nice. You can go onto our website to have a look at a little bit more detail and some of the recommended materials at the bottom. And to join, literally click the link just there, and that will take you through to Gourav's shop. And you can either purchase the live webinar with ticket there, or if you can't make the event, the video tutorial there. If you can make the live webinar, you can order the video as well, but it's at a much reduced price along with the live webinar, so it saves you a bit of money there. Add it to your cart, check out. Although it's in pounds, depending on what your local currency is, it'll be converted into your local currency after checkout. If you do order the video, you can then visit our video library after the event, search by artist and find Gourav on there, and you'll then be able to play it as many times as you want and relive it in the future. So Hopefully that helps. So, as mentioned earlier, our patrons can use a special link on our live events page that gives them 15% off all our workshops. So, although it's at a really great special price of starting from £10, you get 15% off that as well. However, if you're joining this event live, I'm also going to paste a special link to this 15% discount in the chat now so that you can take advantage of it. In fact, let me just do it right now. There we go. It'll be up just for the next 30 minutes or so, so make sure you click it before the time runs out. Right, let's now go back to Gourav for the second half of the tutorial, where we're going to add more layers, more detail, and bring the painting together. So, Gourav, back with you.
Yeah. So I have already started putting phthalo blue paint on the window pane.
You couldn't help it, could you? You couldn't help starting to put a bit of blue on. Brilliant. Okay. Now, Pritha asked, what colour did you say the background, for the background wall? What did you use on the background wall there?
It's neutral tint.
Okay.
From Daniel Smith.
Okay, thank you.
But if you don't have that, you can also mix a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, and a little bit of black. So the color has to be neutral. That's why it's called neutral tint.
Got you. Okay, thanks. Now, Sandra asked, how many hours a day do you paint?
Well, actually, I'm not a full-time artist, and I'm having classes in university in the total morning from 9 to 5, and in the evening and in the night time, sometimes I do painting.
Wow. So you're just totally inspired by it. It's really nice to see someone so young and so talented really getting to grips with art and painting as much as you can. Lenny's asked, is the paper still wet at this point, or is it...
Exactly, it is wet and it is having a little bit of problem. I mean, I am having a little bit of problem. So what I will do is I will just mop up this portion. So the whole paper will get drier. Just the window portion. And I could have used a hair dryer, but I didn't use that because textures that a hair dryer does to the paper, I don't like that.
Okay.
So the paper is a lot more drier now. And since I have already declared that it is a loose painting in the beginning so that I am on the safe side.
Now, Sue's asked what you're studying at university, and it's architecture, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's architecture.
Which, interestingly, a lot of our artists, so if you take Michael Yashevich or a number of them, they all did architecture as a precursor to them becoming a professional artist, which I guess it's logical with the art and creative exercise that is architecture.
So it doesn't matter if it gets mixed up with the flowers a little bit, because ultimately it's a loose painting. But when I would be doing a realistic painting, I would be much more cautious and with a lot more care I would be doing it. So depending upon the genre I'm working on, the styles will change. I'll be applying a little bit of black in this portion. The shadows from the blooms will be forming here.
What colour did you use on the window frame?
On the window frame, it's the same as that on the street.
Ah,
Quinacridone gold burnt, I think that's the name. Or you can just use burnt sienna, a little bit lighter. Now I'm putting, um, this is ivory black. You can use any kind of black. So what I will be doing is after this wall portion dries up totally, I will be putting a darker tone, leaving some of the spots where the dappled sunlight is going to be there. But perhaps it is not dry, so I will just have to continue with the shadows of the tree. One more thing we can do in this loose painting is just take a little bit of water in your brush, clean water, and hold another brush like this, spit it out. It will create a very bloomy texture on the paper.
so just to let you know, so that you can process the time left, you've got about 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, at least I told you now and not when you only had 5 minutes to go. That would have been.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank God I told you in the beginning that I'll be doing a loose painting.
For all those at home painting this, though, you can see that it's really starting to take shape. So I've got a feeling we may not be able to completely finish it, but hopefully Gourav can focus on a particular area or something and pull that up a little bit in detail. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. Also, there's drying time to factor in as well.
So the weather is a little bit humid here today, and it's just lengthening the drying time.
Susie says it's wonderfully vibrant. Yeah, I agree, Susie.
So I will just try to put a little bit of darker tones of quinacridone rose on the under portions of the branches, mixed probably with a little bit of black. Sorry.
That's a new technique. Is that called the throwing the brush at the painting technique?
Perhaps, let's call it that.
What did you use for the dark on the flowers there, Gaurav? Oh, Gaurav, you've gone mute again.
Ivory black.
Ivory black, thank you. I don't know why it seems to randomly go mute. It seems a bit strange.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so I see that a little bit of the whirly portion is dry. I think I'll be able to make the dapple sunlight then.
Great.
How much time we got?
Well, you've actually got maybe 10 minutes. So,
Okay, that's a lot.
yeah. See, you panicked with 15 minutes, but now it's amazing what 5 minutes can do.
Yeah, 5 minutes is a lot of time.
Victoria says a really vibrant and interesting painting, and it's delightful to have some new young talent on board. I agree, Victoria.
Thank you very much, but speed painting is not my piece of pie. I will try to be as much uh, better as possible. We will just do a little bit of detail in this portion. Also a little bit of here. Okay, I will just stand up and do this one.
Oh, you know he's getting serious now. He's standing up.
We will just mix a little bit of blue, phthalo blue, and a little bit of black, just for this purpose. We will just leave some light spaces and dappled light, perhaps.
Trina says, I'm also not a speed painter and I'm also glad to be here this morning. Gaurav's painting is so vibrant. Thank you, John and Gaurav. Thank you, Trina.
Thank you very much.
And Bobby said, I bet being able to do a little bit of detail will make him feel better. Yes.
Ah, she got my point. She is actually very right. A little bit of detail, lack of detail will make me feel like I'm a failure.
Louise has asked, what colour are you layering on now?
I'm layering a little bit of darker portion of the paint that I previously applied on the wall, just pure neutral tint.
Okay.
Now I have mixed a little bit of dark tones with it. As we will gradually approach the lighter shade, this portion of the window, I mean. So the tone will also get a little bit lighter.
Karen says, I'm definitely not a speed painter, but really enjoying this fantastic painting. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you so much. I hope it looks like a little bit of sunlight. Otherwise,
It does. Dappled sunlight coming through the blossom. It's lovely. Transports you to... Where did your friend take this? Because it looks...
Italy.
Italy, okay. I was saying it was like southern France, so it's not too far away.
All those places look quite same. I have seen similar things in France, in Greece.
Europe, it's so samey. So samey.
All mixed up. Okay, what should I do? A little bit of detail in the window, perhaps.
Yes, Karen said if it was truly Italy or France, you'd have a glass of Prosecco on the table. Yeah, no. They always bring alcohol into these conversations. I'm sorry about the audience. Gaurav. Always a fascination with alcohol.
A little bit of detail in the window will give some peace to my soul, perhaps.
Karen says alcohol is what keeps us painting. Well, maybe you, Karen.
I have
Trina.
seen many artists are enjoying alcohol along with painting, but
I
in
think
India it's not the case.
I think it certainly got us through COVID anyway, that is for sure. Trina says much too early for any thought of alcohol over here. It's still dark, not quite 7 a.m. Breakfast is on my mind. A lovely Bloody Mary, Trina. That could be nice. A stiff shot of vodka in that. Lovely.
Perhaps it is looking something like a painting,
I think
I
it's
guess.
it's really coming on. It's you've made a great amount of progress in such a short space of time.
I'm really grateful that you said that.
Now, Sandra asked, what brand of brushes do you use? And the size.
Um, I really don't think that materials do matter a lot because I have experienced this previously. I used to ask artists that what brushes are you using, what paints are you using.
Yeah.
So when I started painting, I found out that the imported brush quality and the local brush quality we have here in India is quite same. So even if you still want, I will say you go for soft aqua, Raphael.
Raphael, yeah. I mean, there are when we've hosted our professional artists, some artists have different preferences for different things, and
Yeah,
they because they get sent a lot of different materials all the time as well, and they
yeah.
start.
They also become ambassadors,
True, true.
but deep down they know that materials don't matter at all. So uh, I will just give advice that you start with whatever you have. Don't buy anything. How
Diana
much more
said
time?
You've got a few minutes. Diana said the shadows really add just the right amount of charm to your painting. We have a kind of new saying here in the States. If you like something, you say, realism is my jam, or loose painting is not my jam. There we go. Realism is my jam.
So that's the American version of that. It's not my piece of pie.
Yes, yeah. It's not my jam. I guess in England it might be it's not my marmalade.
Oh,
I've just made that up. I've just made that up. We're quite partial to our marmalade. Bobby said refreshing painting and personality. That's nice. Thank you, Bobby.
just give
Trina
a
said
little bit of
that she's heard.
branch details.
Trina said that she's heard from several artists, and she follows this rule. That is to learn how to work with the brushes that you have. So each brush is different, and there's no
Exactly.
magic brush, but you might find something that works with your style.
Definitely.
And so I think that's
Perhaps now I will get a little bit of good night's sleep.
it's definitely you've done so well. On the brush theme as well, I'll just interject, but we are over the next few months we've got a couple of special shows. What the first one at the start of February, the 1st of February, in fact the same day, it's going to be followed by Gourav's workshop, where we're going to be doing all about brushes, and then the following month we're going to be doing all about paper, I think, and then that's going to be followed by all about paints, and we're getting feedback from loads of professional artists. We're going to be trying to identify and get the feedback on what brushes are good for what, so stay tuned to that. We're working on that at the moment. Hopefully we'll have a good amount of research and data to share with you at those events.
That's going to be amazing, I think.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh yes, Victoria, well done. I think we'd say in the UK it's not my cup of tea. Well, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, we also say that in India.
Of course, quite partial to your tea in India.
Yeah.
Um, oh yes, and Louisa said, "What about the blossoms on the ground?" Oh yeah, true. We've kind
Oh,
of
that's not in the point of our focus.
exactly. We're
We are
focusing
going
on
to
the
do
window.
focus on this portion.
Yeah, good point. Right, so as we bring it to a close, I'm going to let you just tinker to finish off with. How have you got on? Really fascinating class today. And as we near the end of the show, if you've got any words of thanks that you want me to pass on to Gourav, please write them down for me now and I'll relay them to him in a minute. Also, Gourav and I'd love to see what you've created from this class, and the
Oh,
post.
definitely.
It would be brilliant, wouldn't it? The post relating to the show is already on our Facebook page, so search for Shopkeep Arty and you'll find it there. And just literally take a photo of what you've done today or when you feel you've finished it, and share it on there, and we'll be able to see it and make some comments. And a link is in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. You can also take a look at what others have painted in both this show and others. Scroll down and have a look at what other paintings there are, and feel free to give them a positive like or comment. We've got a really nice supportive community thing going on. So this brings us to the end of another great Arty class. I'll now go back to Gourav and read out some of the comments that we've had. So Diana said, such a wonderful demo today. Thank you for starting my day with inspiration and a smile. And Bobby said, very glad to hear about the materials presentation. Thank you. Sandra, we also say tea. There's a lot of talk about tea now. Trina said, thanks so much. Karen said, wow, fantastic. What an enthusiastic, talented young artist. So inspiring.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Bobby said, I got a sketch and notes done. We'll paint later. Thank you to Gourav for a lovely painting. Susie, lots of words of thanks, but I type too slowly. So lots of words. Andrew, superb, Gourav. Already booked for your workshop before today's show. Looking forward to it. And
So grateful to you.
Francis said, thank you, beautiful brushwork. Louise said, very beautiful. Liz, definitely my cup of tea, thank you. Eva said, this has been a lovely demo, a very happy scene, thank you, Gourav. Sandra, what a wonderful artist. He is very easy to follow and very carefree. Lather said, thank you, Gourav, so full of positive energy. And Hanadi said, thank you, Gourav, that was beautiful. Judy, very lovely painting. I especially like the looseness in the landscape shown. Thank you so much for sharing your techniques. And Barb, very fresh and vibrant painting. Thank you, Gourav. And Lenny, thank you. A welcome start to a very cold day. So thank you so much, Gourav. That was a really lovely class. And in a couple of hours, we're actually going to be flying all the way over from India to California. And we're going to be hosting a global authority in nature journaling, which is a fascinating topic and will really help with your sketching and detailing of both nature, wildlife and other things. John Muir Laws. So if you've booked onto that workshop, you've still got an hour or so if you want to grab a ticket to join us. It's going to be a 2 to 3 hour workshop. It's going to be really fun. Do that if you're interested, and if you are attending that workshop, I'll see you in a few hours. Can't wait for that one. And if not, I hope that you'll be joining us this Thursday when we're going to be hosting a watercolor master, Joe Dowden, for a 1 hour live class. Simply visit our live events section to book those upcoming events. As always, if watching this on YouTube, all the various links to what have been discussed in the show are all in the description below, so do check them out. You can't beat live, so I hope we'll see you in real time next time. So there we have it, the end of the show. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, it's obviously goodbye from me, but thank you so much for your time, generosity, blossom, your piece of pie to Gourav. Thank you, Gourav.
So no, I am very much happy that you have hosted in here. I've got the opportunity. So I am also very much grateful to all of the spectators of my class, and I'm very, very grateful. So namaste.
Thank you so much, Gourav. That was a lovely thank you. And obviously for that, you get a big round of applause.
So I have done some. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'll finish on your painting.
Yeah.
Ah, you finished the chairs, I see. Brilliant. Thanks, Gourav. Take care, everyone.
Bye.